Say, I don't have 5. Okay. Are we, Janet, are we live? You ready? Yeah. Okay.
Ready?
Uh-oh. What? The Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Gun Barrel City, Texas will meet in a special meeting in City Hall Council Chambers located at 1716 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas, on Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025 at 5 p.m. I call this meeting to order. It is 5:01 p.m. Roll call to establish quorum. From my left, please.
Ray here.
Towner here.
Weller here.
Johnson here.
Wilmoth here.
We have a quorum. Citizens' comments. Citizens' comments are accepted for items on this agenda. No other issue can be addressed. Any person desiring to speak must fill out the comment form prior to the gaveling to order of the meeting. Individual citizens' comments are limited to 5 minutes, and minutes are not transferable to another citizen. Any person desiring to speak must be recognized by the presiding officer and come to the podium. Commissioners will not respond to comments during the public hearing, but may refer to them during their discussion time. We have one citizen who wishes to comment. Ms. Faith, please come to the podium.
Thank you. I'm Amaris Faith, and I am a resident here. So what I wanted to be here for tonight specifically was to support the residents who will be affected by the Hillsdale project. I've listened to their concerns about drainage, and they need to know that the city will ensure their safety going forward. The second item is the HOA fees, which I believe are property taxes that fund vigilante
Excuse me, that is not an item for discussion. It is not on our agenda. POA fees have nothing to do with the city. You may resume.
I'm talking about the Hillsdale HOA. That's part of,
It is not. What is before us tonight is the presentation of their preliminary plat. It has nothing to do with an HOA that may or may not be formed in the future.
well, it was included in the stuff that was posted online.
Ms. Faith, please.
Okay, so what am I allowed to speak about? I'm sorry.
You're allowed to address concerns over the preliminary plat that is presented.
Okay, then my concern is I want to make sure that those people over there are going to be safe in their environment and that they're not going to be flooded out or have adverse effects when this development goes in. Thank you.
Thank you. We have no other public comments. New business for a public hearing on a request from Hillsdale Development Group, LLP, to make a recommendation to the City Council to approve a preliminary plat for Hillsdale Phase 2, a 5.79 acre tract situated in the J.P. Brown Survey, abstract number 59, for a private subdivision of 23 single-family lots and 3 open space lots in the city of Gun Barrel City, Texas. Does anyone wish to speak at the public hearing? Seeing no one, I will now close the public hearing and we will move on to item 4B. Consider and take action to make a recommendation to the City Council on a request from Hillsdale Development Group, LLP, to approve a preliminary plat for Hillsdale Phase 2, a 5.79 acre tract situated in the J.P. Brown Survey, abstract number 59, for a private subdivision of 23 single-family lots and 3 open space lots in the city of Gun Barrel City, Texas, subject to the following conditions. 1, approval by City Council of a variance request from Hillsdale Development Group LP to sections 155.4 letter B, 155.40 letter C, and 155.40 letter D, number 1 of the Gun Barrel City Code of Ordinances to allow stormwater drainage infrastructure to be located beneath the private roadways within the subdivision. 2, verification that a TxDOT access permit has been issued for access to State Highway 198 and that construction of the access and connecting roads, Hillsdale Drive, Erickson, Early Way, and Twin Creeks is complete or otherwise secured through an approved mechanism. We will now hear from the city planner, Brittany Anderson.
Good evening. I will be presenting a preliminary plat request for Hillsdale Phase 2. This is a private residential subdivision proposed on a 5.79 acre tract. I'll walk you through the timeline, project details, ordinance compliance, and key conditions related to this request. Public hearing notice was sent to the paper on July 1st. Letters were mailed to the property owners within 200 feet of the property on July 2nd. Public hearing notice was published in the paper for the Planning and Zoning and City Council meeting on July 6th. Tonight is the special Planning and Zoning meeting, and this will be followed by a regular City Council meeting. This slide shows the notification area. The development site is highlighted in yellow, while the 200-foot notification boundary is outlined in blue. All property owners within this boundary were notified of the public hearing in accordance with state law and city ordinance. I sent out 8 letters. Here we have a map of the location of the Hillsdale Phase 2 development. As you can see, the site is located along Highway 198 and the J.P. Brown Survey Abstract Number 59. The zoning map shows that this tract is designated as R4, which is appropriate for the single-family residential development proposed. This zoning allows the developer to move forward with the planned residential community in line with the city's long-term goals for development in this area. This map helps place the development within the broader city layout, providing a clear understanding of its location and how it fits into the surrounding area. This is the full preliminary plat for Hillsdale Phase 2. The proposed subdivision includes 23 single-family residential lots and 3 open space lots across 5.089 gross acres. The layout reflects a gated private community design with internal circulation provided by a loop street network. All lots meet the R4 zoning dimensional standards. As you can see, the internal streets have been upgraded from the original proposed 26-foot pavement to a 31-foot wide with concrete curbs as shown in the typical cross-section at the bottom of the street. Utilities including sanitary sewer, water, and storm lines are planned within the 50-foot private right-of-way. Direction of flow arrows on the plat indicate drainage is being managed with a new underground stormwater system rather than surface ditches, which improves aesthetics and safety. The lot area tables confirm that each lot meets or exceeds the minimum size requirements for the R4 zoning. The layout also includes 3 open space lots. Those will be owned and maintained by the HOA per the plat notes. This sheet summarizes the 2 critical conditions tied to the plat approval. First, City Council must approve a variance to allow the underground stormwater drainage infrastructure to be placed beneath the private roads. This request is a departure from the typical ordinance standards which requires drainage utilities to be placed outside of the roadway pavement for easier long-term maintenance. Second, access to State Highway 198 is a key issue. The subdivision is currently landlocked, and access is proposed via Hillsdale Drive, Erickson, Early Way, and Twin Creeks existing Henderson County roads. Plat approval is contingent upon the developer securing a TxDOT access permit and providing confirmation that the road improvements will be completed or bonded. In short, both conditions, variance approval and access confirmation, must be resolved before final plat approval can proceed. I also want to briefly point out that on Note 6, it explains the slight discrepancy between the CAD recorded acreage of 5.809 acres and the 5.79 acres reflected in the legal descriptions. While there have been discussions about this development in the past, what we're reviewing tonight is a new development plan. The plan is independent of previous versions and includes all necessary details for review. The property is currently undeveloped and is zoned for residential use, and the plat complies with the city's zoning and subdivision regulations. Additionally, the project will be private, a gated community with 23 lots and 3 open spaces. Several important engineering and design changes have been made since the original preliminary plat was conditionally approved. First, the developer has eliminated the use of open ditch stormwater drainage, which often can pose a long-term maintenance and aesthetic concerns. In its place, they've implemented an underground stormwater drainage system that will be routed beneath the proposed private roads. Second, the right-of-way width has been reduced from 60 feet to 50 feet. This is consistent with the private subdivision design standards and helps maximize usable lot area. As a result of this, the right-of-way reduction, individual lot dimensions have been adjusted accordingly, but they still meet the minimum lot requirements for R4 zoning district. Additionally, the internal street design has been upgraded. Originally planned as a 26-foot wide with no curbs, and the new layout increases the paved width to 31 feet, including curbing. This improves both stormwater management and vehicular safety with the subdivision. Overall, these changes enhance the development's function and appearance while maintaining consistency with the city design standards for private subdivisions. The revised plat complies with the key elements of the subdivision ordinance. These include consistency with the city's comprehensive plan, provision of utilities and emergency access, and overall land suitability. All technical requirements outlined in section 155.23A have been met. There are 2 conditions tied to this approval. First, the applicant will need the city council approval for the variance to allow underground stormwater drainage infrastructure beneath the private roads. This is required due to our ordinance, which typically calls for infrastructure to be placed outside of the road pavement. Second, the subdivision is landlocked until TxDOT access permit is secured for State Highway 198, and improvements of the connecting roads are confirmed. Section 155.40B of the Gun Barrel City Code means that any storm drainage system built within the city must follow established engineering standards and must be reviewed and approved based on the city's engineer's recommendations. In simple terms, it ensures that all stormwater infrastructure like culverts, inlets, and underground pipes is professionally designed to function properly, prevent flooding or damage. It also gives the city engineer the authority to evaluate whether the design meets those expectations before it's approved. Section 155.40C requires stormwater systems to be designed with long-term sustainability in mind. The goal is to keep future maintenance costs low, protect public infrastructure like streets, utilities, and make sure the drainage system remains functional over time. In short, it's about designing smart from the start to avoid future problems and protect the city's investment in infrastructure. This section requires storm drainage systems to be completely separate from sanitary sewer systems. It also ensures that the stormwater infrastructure won't interfere with the operation or maintenance of roads or utilities. In short, it's about keeping the systems independent and protecting critical infrastructure. Staff supports this project as it aligns with our residential development goals. However, the approval must be contingent on the City Council granting the variance for the stormwater infrastructure and receipt of the TxDOT access permit. Without the permit, emergency access cannot be ensured. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. The city engineer is also here, as well as our developer with their engineers.
Thank you. Questions, commissioners?
I have one question. It's hard to see on the paper copy, but on the screen, it showed an access onto Leeway. Is that still part of the project?
Let me actually go back to that. Let's see. So if you actually look here on the plat itself, if you can see it, the lot that was on the Leeway is not included in this preliminary plat at all. So there is not going to be access from the Leeway.
Okay.
If you actually look to phase 1 of this plat, if you'll go up some, Janet. So right there, there's 2 entrances. It's 1 entrance and 1 exit, but 2 different ways to get into the subdivision of phase 1. So for them to have that approval of the TxDOT permit is for phase 2 to be approved.
Okay.
And I have a question too. As far as requesting the variance to go underground with the utilities, is that gonna, my concern was any kind of flooding that might actually wash over onto Leeway. Is the goal to try to keep the water off of that property, off that street? It would seem that way if you.
Please come to the microphone. Thank you.
Good evening. The stormwater, excuse me, the stormwater drainage design will discharge into Cedar Creek Reservoir. No water will overflow onto the Leeway. The concept for the design is included in the plat. The details will be on the site plan process, and there will be no water overflowing onto Leeway or onto the city residential property south of this development, which drains into or onto Leeway.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments? Hearing none, then we will, I need a motion. There are 3 options. I believe we have been provided with those. Option 1 is to approve the plat request. Option number 2 would be to send a recommendation to council to deny the request. And let me remind you that if you make a motion to deny, you have to say why, and it could be very simple, doesn't comply with all ordinances, for example. The third option for a motion, and is what the city staff recommends, is to approve the motions with the 2 conditions that Brittany explained to us in her presentation. So that being said, I need a motion, please. I need a motion, please.
I make a motion to make a recommendation to the City Council on a request from Hillsdale Development Group LP to approve a preliminary plat for Hillsdale Phase 2, 5.79 acre tract situated in the J.P. Brown Survey, abstract number 59, for a private subdivision of 23 single-family lots and 3 open space lots in the city of Gun Barrel City, Texas, subject to the following conditions. 1, approval by the City Council of a variance request from Hillsdale Development Group LP to sections 15540B, 15540C, and 15540D, 1 of the Gun Barrel City Code of Ordinances to allow stormwater drainage infrastructure to be located beneath the private roadways within the subdivision. And 2, verification that a TxDOT access permit has been issued for access to SH 198 and that construction of the access and connecting roads, Hillsdale Drive, Erickson, Early Way, and Twin Creeks is complete or otherwise secured through an approved mechanism.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Towner seconds.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any further discussion from commissioners? Then vote from my left, please.
Ray, yes.
Towner, yes.
Weller, yes.
Johnson, yes?
Wilmot, yes.
The motion is approved and will go before City Council this evening. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned, and it is 5:22 p.m. Thank you all for your attendance.